Hey everybody, welcome to Lamb Living. My name is Holly Lamb and it's summer! This 10-month employee is so ready for June and July. 2 months to rest and recuperate. In 2 months, I'll be ready to get back into school, but for now, it is time for me to enjoy this beautiful scene at the beach access right down from my church. This is the St. Simon Sound off the coast of beautiful South Georgia. And this is my happy place. I love living on St. Simon's Island. And there's my church right there. And that's where I plan on being all summer. I'm so excited to be joining the First Friday playlist. And our theme this month is barbecue. So we're ready for summer. I decided to go on my first day of summer to the Dollar Tree for some inspiration. And looking at this little end cap was I was really impressed with some of the items. Look at this great scraper for the grill. And check out this spatula for grilling with the bottle cap and opener on it and everything. Honestly, I was very impressed. Okay, we're going to take this little cute sign from, I bought that at CVS. And I decided to keep the chalkboard sign and just to make over the Christmas tree side. And so while I was at the Dollar Tree, it really struck me how many chalkboard items there really are. The chalkboard thought, as I get ready to have people over, friends, family, for cookouts and barbecues, low country boils and different things that we gather for around here. You know, there's always something that I want to put a little sign on. This dressing, that's light. This is diet, that's not. This is, whatever. This salad, the different types of salads. And so I thought chalkboard would be the perfect way to do that. So I picked up a chalkboard little tube of paint there, and I'm actually going to keep the chalkboard on the back of this sign the same, and we're going to see how that works, just what comes from the store. And then I'm going to use that chalkboard paint along with 2 other different ways that I've seen other creators create chalkboards, and we're going to try out all of them in this video. And so I am going to start us off on our barbecue theme with off to Etsy, and these 9 watercolor prints that I downloaded. I bought those for $2, and I'm going to use this one. It shared to my Google Drive, and then I downloaded them to my computer so I could use them as images, and then I was able to print it out on my laser printer. My color printer is a laser printer, so I don't have to do any kind of prep if I want to Mod Podge or decoupage in some way onto my project. And so here I go. I'm not going to use those words because I'm using reverse decoupage, and if I want to add words later, I'll use stamps or something like that, or I could print it on tissue paper and decoupage it on. If I did the reverse with this liquid patina by DIY Paint, then the words would be backwards. So we're just going to leave it plain. We're going to put this gorgeous little watercolor print from Etsy. I included that link. It's from Mira Creative Studios Etsy shop. And I included the link to it down in the description box. Only $2 for those 9 little watercolors. I'm sure I can use them on other projects this summer because they were so pretty. I love that watercolor look. And now I have put a very even light coat of liquid patina, the crystal clear chandelier. It's a great decoupage and transfer medium. And I have let that dry overnight. I just kind of pressed it down into the chalk paint there. And now I am rubbing off the paper using that's just water. And it takes me, I timed it. I recorded the whole process of taking off the backing paper from this, just use copy paper, regular copy paper. And it was 10 minutes. So I did even swirling, light swirling to take off that paper with just plain water, and it took me 10 minutes to get all the paper off. That's halfway, and you can see the paper kind of balled up there. That's what it does. And so it doesn't take forever. Now, here it is in real time. This is actual time, actual speed. This is, you can see I have a nice light touch. I'm not pushing hard. If I do, it's going to pull up the decoupage medium, the ink. And so here I'm sped back up again. And I wanted to show you, how that goes. It's really not hard at all. 10 minutes. There we go. And so pretty. I love it. Oh, it did take off one little bit of ink there, but it's up in the smoke part of the grill, so I didn't think it was too bad. And here it is. Now, we'll come back to that. There's the chalkboard side. And I used some stencils to create the little lamb there. And we'll come back to those stencils in just a little while, but there it is. I love how this looks. Look, you can't see at all where that paper was, where the design started. It just blends right in with that chalk paint. I did put a coat of liquid patina over top to act as a sealer, and there we go. I'm in the barbecue mood. All right, now let's create some chalkboards. First off, we're going to use this little sign from Hobby Lobby. I think it said $1.74. Got it on clearance, of course. And this, of course, is the paint from Dollar Tree. And I had one bottle that was almost empty, and then, of course, I picked up one from the Dollar Tree. So I had plenty, but this is the one that was almost empty, and I thought I was going to need that second bottle, but turns out this coverage on this wooden piece is fantastic. One coat coverage, no problems. I was able to, I still had some paint on my brush, and I had prepared this little sign for my last video for the napkin decoupage challenge, but I ended up not having time to use it and really didn't need to. So I had it sitting over there, and I thought, well, I'm going to do one side of that. And then I still had paint in that first bottle, and so I used this, I'm going to say silver tray just because that's the color, but it's not silver. You can see it's not tarnished because it's not actual silver. And it's not pewter. It was only $3, and it was nice and heavy, and it didn't have any dents or dings. It was scratched up pretty good. But so that's what I look for at thrift stores. This nice heavy tray, which is obviously not precious and obviously not, going to show any dings or any damage. It was ready for paint. That's, those are some of my criteria for thrifting. And so when I had all this extra paint left from this extra bottle, I thought, let's give this a try. I've seen silver trays changed into chalkboards. Let's do it. Now, did you see those little shiny parts coming through, the little sparkles? That was where this was starting to chip off a little bit. This shiny surface, I should have known. The wood was great for that chalkboard paint, but some surfaces that are shiny need that extra layer of top coat. So I just used my liquid patina. It's what I had in my little prep bowl there. I used it as a top coat to seal in that paint and keep it from chipping. So there we go. That one's ready. So now I headed outside to prime all my chalkboards. And I didn't want the mess inside, even though I do some more priming inside in just a little while. But Toby and I went outside. There he is. He's roaming around down there. You'll probably see him. And I put my happy dots on his first letter there. And then this little sign I've got at the Dollar Tree as well. And I did not paint it. This is what it came as, and it did great. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. And that is the truth in the gospel. But I love that little sign. That was perfect, that little house sign. Now this is one of the just plain chalkboards, and it was different. It's kind of glossy. I don't know if you can tell, it's a little thinner. Actually, my drawing, which is pretty pathetic in chalk, is not as bad on this. The real kind of porous chalkboard, my drawing and writing is horrible on that porous chalk. But this one actually was kind of nice. But here we go. here's this on the wood, and so it's here I am priming it. If you don't prime your chalkboards, it'll stay on. The image will kind of leave a shadow, leave a ghost of the image if you try to erase it later. And so if you prime it, it will it won't do that as badly, depending on the chalkboard surface. But this one, again, is that porous look, so my writing is pretty sorry and sad. I thought, well, I'll try some block lettering. Maybe that'll be better. No. Kevin's Grill. No, that's not going to work. Kevin's Grill is delicious and wonderful. My husband is great on the grill, but no, my writing is not. So I went into my stash and started pulling stencils. These I got, this is Creative Expressions from Michaels, and so is this little stencil here. This one's plastic, made out of a plastic, which worked really, really well with chalk. I just kind of put the chalk in there and then kind of blurred it with my pointer finger there, and it worked great. And so did these bigger stencils, this big humongous mega pack. They're made out of paper, kind of a cardstock, and they worked as well. They're just a little bit flimsier, but with chalk it really doesn't matter. Now with paint, it obviously would leave paint residue, but not chalk. The chalk is just messy on my countertop, but on these stencils it worked great. And my only problem with it is it's opaque. I can't see where my letters are going, so I had to kind of guess. And this, the Y went on pretty well, but the M I kind of miscalculated. And so you see me using my pointer finger just to rub in the chalk. I didn't like that. Now watch. I'm going to take off the M, easy peasy, and I'm going to redo it. No problems. Took me just a couple minutes to put on the second M, and there we go. Yum. All right. Now here is our chalkboard. I used the top coat on and then put another coat of the chalkboard paint from Dollar Tree, and it is perfectly ready. Love it. Now, this particular mega stencil pack from Michaels came with large, I believe those are 3-inch letters that are in cursive or script, and then it came with the little block letters, more of a kind of like the Georgia or the Times News Roman font. And so I'm going to put eat on this one. I had yum on the other one. How many 3-letter words can I put together for this video? We'll see. And so there we go. Now I take a dry artist brush, just a tiny little brush. This brush is dry, and I'm just making sure all the chunks of chalk are away. And then I filled in all the little stencil-y look where the little lines were to make it look a little more continuous. And then I'm going to put my little corn stalk. I had a little bit of space where I miscalculated the center of my tray. And so I do a little corn stalk there. Love it. I stretched it out with a little extra. And here are my chalkboards from the Dollar Tree. I did the pig on that little one. He's cute. I didn't have a real small stencil for writing, and my writing is so atrocious I decided to leave it. But look how that chalkboard paint did on this silver tray. I just followed kind of the design of the tray, and it worked fantastic. I'm super happy with this. I've got it in landscape mode, but you could erase that and hang it as a door hanging in portrait mode and write something else. I'm real excited about that silver tray. All right, now we're going to take these Dollar Tree signs that look like mason jars. I'm going to glue them together like this. I'm just going to put a coat of primer on the back of the MDF just so it doesn't give us any troubles. You see, I'm batch painting out here. When it's a nice day, I like to do a couple of different things for future projects. I'm making a wreath for some friends, and their last name starts with R. And then I've got another little piece of wood, random scrap wood, that I'm putting some primer on. There's the Rust-Oleum flat white primer. And so we're just going to do a light coat, just one coat on the these two Dollar Tree signs. And then just to keep them from bowing I like to just glue two. If they'll mirror together like this, you know, there's no obvious little jut outs or different shapes. I like to glue them together front to front, and then I'm sure to get nice straight sign. And it's going to hang nicely, and it's not going to bow on me. If I hang this outside, down here in South Georgia, we have humidity by the truckload, and you have to, or I have to, you know, make allowance for that. And so that's what's going to happen. So I just use the Gorilla Glue, wood glue, and the wood glue from Dollar Tree would work just as well. And glued that together, let it sit overnight. Now I'm going to use this acrylic paint. This is a matte black folk art paint that I got at Hobby Lobby on the clearance. It was a pretty big container. It was like $2.50, which was a fantastic buy. It's very thick, so I can tell it's old. You know, it's been sitting around Hobby Lobby for a while. They stuck it on clearance, which was fine with me because it's water soluble. I can put a little water in if I need to. And so I even get the sides of this sign, and it just sucked up that paint no problem. So here I go, priming inside. It was dark, and I didn't want to go outside when I was doing this. So there we go. You can see the mess it's leaving on the counter. Oh, well, I'll get the wet wipes out in a little while. I also painted this jar candle. It had some texture on the glass. I got this jar candle and several others at Rose's one time. And I wanted to see if it would look like white wax, and it kind of does. It kind of does, but if I were to take a wet wipe to that or a baby wipe, then it would go straight to the flat black. And so, you know, there's some options there. I just leave it on there. I'm not putting any kind of finisher on there. I think if I had put liquid patina, it would go to flat black again. Now I'm going to use some Jamie Ray Vintage stencils on this. They have lots of sheep, and so I get all their sheep stencils, and this one has lots of open space in the middle, so it's great for chalk. And so I'm just going to take my chalk and get it all over, and then use my finger to rub it into the edges there. Jamie Ray Vintage Stencils, I've put a link to her website, and she and Zeb, down in the description box. They have lots of stencils, and they're great. They're nice and thick, and they wash up beautifully, and I really enjoy those stencils. And there's my horrific handwriting again. I thought if I turned it on its side, it would look better. Nope. Okay, so back to stencils. So I just take the cursive L, and I'm going to put that on my little mason jar here. But the nice thing is, it's going to erase if I want to, you know, put something else on it, change it for a different party, maybe lemons, or I could draw, you know, there's lots of colored chalk. I'm just using my dry brush again to get any chunky pieces of chalk off, and then I'm going to fill in those little holes there where the stencil was, and it looks beautiful. I just love how this chalk does with stencils. Love it. Now I've taken just some black wire and run through the holes that were there previously from the Dollar Tree, and then I crumpled up some of the paper I have laying there. It's just wrapping paper, and that I trimmed off this table cover and tied it into just a simple knot for my bow. And there's the jar before and after. I think I probably would have left the black off the top, but I liked it. It was different. Okay, I'm going to put on my mask for this. I have just a face mask because I'm going to be messing with this plaster, and I don't want that in my system. And then here is just some apple barrel matte black acrylic paint from Walmart. This is the 59-cent stuff. And so I saw Deidre on our Upcycled Life make this recipe on her channel, which I've also linked below. And she put 2 big heaping tablespoons of plaster of Paris in with some acrylic paint. I think she also did some with some latex paint as well. But I just had that acrylic paint from Walmart, and was going to try to make chalkboard out of that. Now, I'm going to use these MDF letters that I bought on a sale at Michael's, and I'm going to make chalkboards out of them. And so I'm putting it on our SSI here. This, of course, stands for St. Simon's Island. And there's some shirts that I saw at our Roses, and I bought one of those green ones. We're right next door to Jekyll Island. They call us the Golden Isles of Georgia. And there's also Cumberland Island. There's Amelia Island. Of course, that's in Florida, but it's all here on the coast. And we have these big live oak trees with Spanish moss and a beautiful brick lighthouse that was built before the Civil War and then rebuilt when it was destroyed during the Civil War. And then we have a pier and just a beautiful, beautiful place to live and go to church and work. My school is here on the island. It's just, I'm so blessed with this beautiful, beautiful life. So I'm going to make some St. Simon's Island chalkboards that I'll be able to, chalk up and make different things, write different things on them for different events. And the MDF had a little bit of some bumpy edges, so I'm just taking one of my nail files from Amazon, and I'm going to go ahead and paint all the sides, and I'm going to get some of that gook off from the sticker. The sticker came off pretty easy. It was pretty nice, but I'm going to sand off some of that goo. I could have gotten my goo gone out, but I didn't want to get it all wet and have to wait for it to dry again before I painted. Now, I got these little cuties from the toy aisle at the Dollar Tree. They have lots of wonderful wooden toy furniture for doll houses. And then I'm going to paint the lid of that glass jar, and I'm going to paint the top. I know you've seen these mushrooms at the Dollar Tree. They've had them for a couple years now, and they're beautiful. And normally I would paint the bottoms and leave those beautiful tops because they're some type of glaze, the kiln dried and fired glaze. And I should have known that slick surface was going to scratch, and also this shiny surface, but I don't learn very fast. So I have to go back and put some liquid patina, here I go again, with my crystal clear chandelier. And I keep it separate from the main container because I don't want to get black paint in my main container. So I have it in a little prep bowl there, and that keeps it nice and fresh. So I put a coat on my lid that I'm going to write on. And also, look how cute. They're actually kind of cute, kind of shiny like that. But I'm going to go ahead and put one more coat on the lid and on the top of my mushroom so I can write on them, and they're chalkboardified. And so here I go decorating. I'm using some of those stencils again, decorating my SSI. And have you seen my problem? Have you noticed what I've done wrong? Again, I'm a slow learner when it comes to chalkboards. I tell you what, I'm trying to use my dry brush and I'm like, wait a minute, nothing's moving. And I think, uh-oh, you haven't primed it. And watch, do you see that little shadow of those leaves? If I had left those on there, oh my goodness, those little leaves would have left a little ghostly shadow on my little letters, and I don't want that. I want to be able to erase it and change it out for different seasons. And so there I go, all primed and chalked up and ready for decoration. Now I got this chalk marker at Dollar General, and it is really nice. This is almost like the Sharpie paint pen I get at Hobby Lobby. And Walmart has them as well. They are super. And I don't remember how much I paid for them at Dollar General, but I really like that. Now this is the little chalk writer from Dollar Tree. It's waxy, kind of like a crayon, but it rubs off. So I got that ranch kind of off center, and I was able to fix it because, yes, it's waxy, but it still will rub off. Now watch, I'm going to try to rub off that Italian that I wrote, and it doesn't rub off. It makes it look chalkboardy, but it didn't. That's always going to say Italian. And whereas the ranch will rub off. And anyway, that's okay. Now I am going to, because I really like the way my handwriting looked with that better chalk marker, I'm going to go ahead and do that on my my mushrooms, and I'm not gonna worry about priming it, because if I have to, if I want something other than Caesar salad and Greek salad, I'm gonna have to repaint those anyway because of the marker. But I just like my handwriting better with the paint pen than with any kind of chalk or the chalk writers that I need stencils for. But here they are. Look how cute. I put some dots with the happy dots on the letters, and the dots like it's little mushrooms. And I put my sweet barbecue sauce. All right. I put some chickens from my stencils on that little house. So cute. Oh, I want to thank the hosts, Lisa and Sarah from Our Gray House and Jujubee DIY, and Marla from the Chic Show DIY, for letting me be on this playlist. I really enjoy this playlist. Always so much fun, so much inspiration. These are great crafters. And here we are, everything we've done, the 3 different ways we did chalkboards with the plaster of Paris, the acrylic paint, and the chalkboard paint from the Dollar Tree. Honestly, they all look the same, and they all are acting the same. When they're primed, they're going to do just what chalkboards used to do. When I first started teaching, now we've gone to whiteboards, and chalkboards are a thing of the past. So I guess that's why I was a slow learner on chalkboarding, but I sure do like them. And I like the versatility. I like being able to, have choices. So I can erase and do something else, and have lots of choices for the different parties and different events that we're going to have throughout the season. I want to thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me, and God bless. And from the Blue House on the Corner, I wish you a happy start to your summer. And see you next time. Bye-bye.